Hello there! My name is Raymar and welcome to my remarkable videos. So, let's get started. Module 1, Generating Patterns. Target skills or objectives. Pre-test muna.
A few minutes later.
Base sa ating definition of terms, a sequence is a set of numbers written in succession. Example, 3, 7, 11, 15, and 19. Ang tawag sa kanila ay mga terms, terms of a sequence. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, and fifth term, and so on and so forth. Dahil ang sequence ay isang succession, pwede tayong magdagdag ng mga terms na maaaring sumunod sa ating given example sequence. Ano kaya ang maaaring sumunod sa 19? Tingnan natin ang pattern. Yung 3 ay naging 7 by adding 4. Sinundan ng 11 ang 7 by also adding 4. And so on and so forth hanggang makarating ng 19. Tama, mag-a-add tayo ng 4 sa 19 para makuha natin ang next term na 23. That is correct. Tingnan naman natin ang example number 2. Write the next 3 terms in the sequence. 2, 7, 12, 17, blank, blank, and blank. Ano kaya ang magiging 3 terms na nawawala sa ating given sequence? Tingnan natin ang pattern. Tama, by adding 5, makukuha natin ang mga susunod na terms. So mula sa 17 plus 5, we'll get 22. Plus 5 will get 27. And plus 5 will get 32. That is correct. Paano naman kaya yung susunod na example? Isulat natin ang 1 o yung first term ng given sequence as a fraction para makuha natin yung mga nawawalang terms. Tingnan na meron tayong pare-parehas na numerator pero yung denominator natin ay consecutive numbers from 1 to 4. So ano yung sunod sa 4? Tama, 5. That's why our next term is 1/5. Ano yung sunod sa 5? 6. Kaya yung next term natin ay 1/6. And syempre, yung last term natin ay 1/7. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ang pinagkaiba ng finite at infinite sequence. A sequence is said to be finite if it has a first term and last term. It is an infinite sequence if it has a first term but no last term. So sa example na to, sasabihin natin kung alin ang finite at alin ang infinite sequence base sa kanilang mga definition. Let's try example A. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Finite ba or infinite sequence? May kita natin na may first term at last term yung example A. Ang first term niya ay 1 at ang last term niya ay 16. So alin sa dalawa yung may first and last term? Tama, finite sequence. How about letter B? May first term at may last term, 3 at 15. Kaya ang B ay isa ring finite sequence. Paano yung C? May first term? Yes, 1. Pero ano ang last term? Instead a number, makita natin na may tatlong tuldok. In symbols, this is called ellipsis, meaning endless. At pag sinabi nating endless, walang katapusan. No last term. So yung letter C ay infinite sequence. Subukan nyo naman yung D at E. So ano ang sagot ninyo sa D? Tama, finite sequence. May first term, which is 2, at may last term, which is 99/98. Kahit meron siyang tatlong tuldok, ito naman ay nasa gitna. Meron pa ring last term, kaya yung D ay isang example ng finite sequence. At yung letter E, siya ngayon ang infinite sequence example. May first term na 1 at walang last term. Good job! Balikan natin yung example natin kanina, yung 3, 7, 11, 15, and 19. Ginamit natin silang example para maintindihan natin na mga terms ng sequence ay tinatawag nating first term, second term, and so on and so forth hanggang sa last term. Ngayon, isulat natin sila in symbols. Yung first term ay isulat natin as A sub 1. Yung second term as A sub 2. Yung third term is A sub 3, A sub 4 at A sub 5 naman yung mga susunod. Paano kung yung sequence natin ay infinite? Ano yung mga magiging symbol ng mga successive o yung mga nawawalang terms? Ang tawag sa kanya o sa kanila ay nth term or A sub n in symbol. That completes our notation para sa mga terms ng sequence. Gamitin natin ang concept na ito para sa mga susunod na mga examples. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon yung listing the terms of a sequence. Ibig sabihin, hahanapin natin yung mga terms na maaaring kabilang sa isang sequence. Example number 4. Write the first 4 terms of the sequence A sub n equals 12 minus 3n. So, ang pinapahanap sa atin ay 4 na terms ng equation of the sequence. So, tinatawag natin itong equation of the sequence dahil siya ang magbibigay sa atin ng mga terms na kukumpleto ng buong sequence. Tingnan natin ang solution. Dahil hinahanap natin yung first 4 terms, ililista natin na ang hinahanap natin ay yung A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, hanggang A sub 4. Let's start by substituting the value in every n. So, ang A sub n ay naging A sub 1, kaya yung 12 minus 3n ay magiging 12 minus 3 times 1. Ganun din yung gawin natin sa A sub 2. Ano yung value ng n? 2. Kaya yung 12 minus 3n ay magiging 12 minus 3 times 2. Ganun din sa A sub 3, magiging 12 minus 3 times 3. At yung last na A sub 4 ay magiging 12 minus 3 times 4. Ano yung susunod na step? By PEMDAS rule, let's solve and simplify. So ano yung mauuna? Tama, multiplication muna bago subtraction. So by solution, 3 times 1 is 3. Subtracting it from 12, we get 9. Yung sa A sub 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract it from 12, the answer is 6. A sub 3, 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract it from 12 is 3. And yung A sub 4, 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract it from 12, the answer is 0. That completes our sequence as 9, 6, 3, and 0. This is how we list the terms of a sequence given the equation of the sequence. Subukan naman natin ang example number 5. What is the 7th term of the sequence A sub n equals 2 raised to n minus 3? So dito sa example natin, specific ang hinahanap na term which is the 7th term or in symbol A sub 7. So tingnan natin yung solution kung paano natin hahanapin or isosolve ang A sub 7. Let's rewrite the equation which is A sub n equals 2 raised to n minus 3. By substitution, the value of n which is 7, A sub 7 equals 2 raised to 7 minus 3 will be our new solution. And dahil na-substitute na natin yung mga value ng n, we can perform the solution by again following the PEMDAS rule and starting with the exponent. So yung mga exponent natin ay 2 raised to 7. And ang 2 raised to 7 ay equal sa 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 and times 2 The answer is 128. And lastly, by simplifying and subtracting 128 by 3, our a sub 7 is 125. Therefore, the seventh term of our sequence is 125. That is correct. Subukan naman natin yung susunod na lesson. Finding the general term. Ano ba ang general term? A general term is a mathematical expression or equation that is used to yield the successive terms of a sequence. So, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, given the equation, inisa-isa natin yung mga terms ng isang sequence. Ngayon naman, let's reverse the solution. Ang hahanapin naman natin ay ang general term or yung equation given ang mga terms ng isang sequence. Example number 6. Discover the equation of the sequence 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on and so forth by looking at the pattern. So ito yung given natin, 3, 5, 7, 9. Ano ang kanyang general term or equation of the sequence? Tingnan natin ang solution. Yung a sub 1 to a sub 4 natin ay yung first 4 terms ng ating given, yung 3, 5, 7, and 9. So ang gusto nating hanapin ay yung a sub n or yung nth term or yung equation or yung general term ng ating given sequence. Ano yung gagawin natin? Let's look at the pattern once again. Kung titingnan natin, yung 3 ay maaari nating isulat as 1 plus 2. Tama naman. Yung 5 ay maaaring isulat as 1 plus 4. Yung 7 as 1 plus 6. Yung 9 as 1 plus 8. Kung titingnan natin, lahat sila ay may pare-parehas na value. Ano yon? Tama, yung 1. Yung 1 plus. Subukan natin siyang gamitin kung sali siya sa buong general term. Pagpatuloy natin ang pag-observe sa ating pattern. 2, 4, 6, 8. Kung titingnan natin, yung 2 ay pwede natin isulat as 2 times 1. Yung 2 plus 2 ay maaaring maging 2 times 2. Yung 2 plus 2 plus 2 ay magiging 2 times 3. At yung 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 ay maaaring isulat as 2 times 4. Ano ang napansin natin sa naging resulta? Muli, may pare-parehas na value which is 2 at maaari siyang makasali sa ating general term. Ngayon naman, ano yung natira? Makikita natin yung consecutive numbers na 1, 2, 3, 4 kung saan siya yung mga value ng n sa ating terms na first to fourth terms. Siya ang magiging value ng n sa iba't ibang mga successive or iba't ibang mga terms na maaaring mahanap sa isang general term or equation of the sequence. Therefore, our equation that we are looking for is a sub n equals 1 plus 2n or pwede natin siyang isulat as a sub n equals 2n plus 1. Let's try another example in finding the general term. Write an equation that describes the sequence 1 half, 1, 3 halves, 2, and so on and so forth. Let's look at the solution. Since meron tayong first 4 terms in the sequence, we are going to name them as a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and a sub 4. So ang hinahanap natin muli ay ang general term or ang equation of the sequence. Let's start observing our pattern. Makikita natin that meron tayong dalawang terms na parehas fraction, specifically similar fractions dahil meron silang parehas na denominator na 2. How about this a sub 2 and a sub 4? Gawin natin silang fraction na meron ding denominator of 2. Let's start with 1. Anong fraction na equivalent sa 1 na ang denominator is 2? That is correct. 2 over 2 is equivalent to 1. How about our a sub 4, which is 2? Anong fraction ang equivalent sa 2 na ang denominator is also 2? Correct, that is 4. Because 4 halves or 4 over 2 is equivalent to 2. That gives us all fractions in our sequence: 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, and 4/2. By observing our pattern, we can see that all of them are similar fractions na may denominator na 2. So this is our repeated value na maaaring kasali sa ating general term. Observe now our numerators. Ang numerator natin ay consecutive numbers from 1 to 4. Pareha sa value ng n ng ating mga terms. Therefore, the equation that we are looking for example number 7, is a sub n equals n over 2. For our last example in finding the general term, example number 8, what is the nth term of sequence 2, 5, 10, 17, and so on and so forth? Pag sinabi nating finding the nth term, parehas yan sa finding the general term or finding the equation of the sequence. Let's look at the solution. Again, we have 4 first terms in our sequence. So we have a sub 1 hanggang a sub 4. Let's look at the pattern for us to get a sub n once again. 2, 5, 10, and 17. Yung 2 ay maaaring isulat as 1 plus 1. Yung 5 ay pwedeng isulat as 1 plus 4. Yung 10 naman can be written as 1 plus 9, and so on with 17, that can be written into 1 plus 16. Observe ulit natin na meron tayong similar or pare-parehas na value which is 1 plus, na pwede nating ilagay sa ating general term later. Observe now 1, 4, 9, and 16. What did you observe? Correct, lahat sila ay mga perfect square numbers. So, pwede natin silang isulat into squared numbers. Yung 1 is 1 squared. Yung 4 is 2 squared. Yung 9 is 3 squared. At yung 16 ay 4 squared. At dyan, muli tayo makakita ng similar values, which is 2, which is our exponent. And for our last observation, we can see na yung consecutive numbers na 1, 2, 3, and 4 ay yung value ng ating n. That gives us the equation as a sub n equals 1 plus n squared, or pwedeng isulat as a sub n equals n squared plus 1. That ends our examples in finding the general term. Now, it's your turn. Practice exercises. Assessment time. Please answer post-test and additional activities. Thanks for watching and learning. Till next time. Bye!